Now for some, ghee or clarified butter might be a delicacy, a luxury item, but for some, it's their daily driver. And today we're going to see how to make ghee at home in a really simple and easy way. And I'll tell you a fun story on what forced me to make ghee. So we are going to start by adding a lot of butter in a saucepan that can fit it, and then start to melt that butter completely down.
Now, while that butter is melting, let me tell you what essentially forced me to make ghee at home, and I had no other option. So I love puri sabji, and puri is essentially a bread made with atta flour that's then deep fried in ghee, and then it gets nice and puffy. And to top that, this meal was coordinated across multiple cities where different family members were making the same dish, the same recipe together, and we're going to enjoy it together. And some of the relatives actually did not have all the ingredients, so they could not actually make it, and I thought I had everything, and I was the one teasing that, hey, I'm going to get to have this on New Year's Day and you're not. But guess what? An hour before I was about to start finishing off my puris and start actually heating up the ghee, I opened my tin of my ghee, and there was barely any for me to fry. And this is New Year's Day. Everything is closed, and I went out. I tried to find any store that would sell ghee. Nothing. Now thankfully I had some sticks of butter at home, and I essentially pulled a Thanos where I was like, you know what? I'll just do this myself. And I just tried the ghee in a super rushed way, and I mixed it with the ghee that I already had, and it was perfect.
I hope it didn't snooze off and actually found that story interesting. Now that butter is completely molten, as you can see. Just give it a stir, make sure it's completely molten at the bottom as well. There's no solid parts. And now we just want to play with our heat to make sure we bring that butter to a gentle simmer. And as it starts to simmer, you're going to start seeing some foam collect at the top. It'll be a lot at first, and then eventually, as we deal with it, it will start to become lesser and lesser and lesser. So we can deal with that foam in quite a few ways. First way would be to just grab a spoon and then gently brush past that top layer and get rid of any foam. The other way, as I'm doing here, is to use a slotted spoon, dip it in there, and then pick up that foam, and then make any excess butter, the good part, drip down and just remove that foam part. And you'll have to do this for, I would say, at least 20-25 minutes while it is simmering. And you really want to pay attention to how rapidly the butter is simmering, because we don't want the butter to burn, but we also don't want all that foamy stuff to burn either. Either of those will ruin the texture, the flavor, and the aromatics of our final product.
Now it's pretty interesting to see what you guys voted as your favorite oil, and that's a pretty hard question for me as well. I think for me, butter would be the favorite one, but I don't know if it's actually oil or if it's just a type of fat. Let me know.
And as you can see much better now, there are three distinct layers to that ghee. The clear part, the golden part, then that solid part which is in the middle, and then the foam part. We only want to take care, quote unquote, of the foamy part and leave the rest to turn into our ghee, and that's the magic stuff. And this looks pretty good to me. So let's go ahead and move on to the next step. But right before that, let me answer, would I make this whenever I need ghee?
Now to answer that question, if you can easily find a ghee that you love and enjoy, it gets you excited to use ghee in everything, then you probably only will use this just for fun. Maybe you just want to try something new. But if you cannot find ghee at all, if it's too expensive to ship it, if the brands you get are disgusting, this is a recipe that's going to save your life. And he's just so much better than butter in so many ways. And check out the full recipe on my website to see why.
And finally, here I have a mason jar with a cheesecloth over the top. Just pour all that ghee through it, and by the end of it, we'll have our magical golden aromatic ghee.
Share this recipe with somebody who loves to cook with ghee, or somebody that you think would love to have ghee and has never had it before. And if you want to see more recipes that use ghee, that use clarified butter, then check out the playlist I'm going to link over here. And if you want to pair it with paneer, check out how to make homemade paneer as well. Bye guys.